there, didn't you?
Well, yes, you did.
Okay. So we thought we'd kick off tonight with our new member who's managed to probably do the dive of the century, maybe in Port Phillip on your induction dive. So that's pretty impressive. So we'd asked Craig just to give us a bit of a overview of what happened on your dive day.
Yeah. Okay, if I just sit here, or do you want to?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. So I've just joined that club. So thanks for having me. I did my checkout dive last week, and Ian was on the boat, and it was Peter Beaumont's boat, and we dived the Hurricane just off Rosebud, and we did 2 dives. And so the first dive was on the Hurricane, and then the second dive we did a scallop dive. Before I get into it, I'll just say that there was a lot of activity out in the water that day too. It was incredibly active. There was whales out. There was a lot of dolphins. There was a lot of bait fish because all of the birds were just darting into the water.
What day was it?
That was on Monday last week. Yeah. So it was a beautiful day. Weather was great. It was not much wind at all. And feel free to add in.
Yeah, sure.
So on our second dive, Ian was on the boat, and Peter and I went in and do our scallop drift. And as soon as we went to the bottom, we went our own separate ways. As soon as we got to the bottom, we could hear whale noises. We could hear them singing. So I thought, well, there's definitely some whales around here somewhere, but I couldn't see anything. So I just kept collecting scallops, and for about 30 minutes, and I happened to look up to my right, and then suspended in the water about 5 meters away from me was a whale. And it was probably 15, 20 meters long. It was a huge whale. Big eye just looking at me, and I was sort of in that zone of, well, I could panic here, but on the other hand,
flight.
Yeah, fight or flight. This is so good. This is fantastic. And then it came up and started swimming around me under the water. We're only in about 11, was it? 11 meters.
Yeah.
And so it started swimming around me. I thought, oh, this is just magical. And then it just swam off. I thought, okay, there's my whale experience. So I started collecting scallops again. Now, after about 5 minutes, I happened to look up, and I don't know why I looked up, but in front of me, I could see this dark shadow, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then,
Mouth open.
Sorry?
Mouth open.
I couldn't see the mouth. And then I could see that it was a whale coming back. Whether it was the same one or not, I don't know. I presume it was, And it just got bigger and bigger, and it kept coming straight at me. And I thought, bloody hell, it's back. And I thought, it's going to run into me. It's coming straight at me like this, huh? It's going to run into me. And it got that close, I thought, I'm going to have to do something to protect myself. So I put my arm up like this, and then it kept coming at me. And it's only going at walking speed. And my hand went onto its forehead. And I couldn't see the mouth because I'm up the top of it, its forehead. And it starts pushing me along in the water. And I'm going backwards like this. It's a whale. And a bag of scallops on me as well. I was pushing back, and I thought, well, I can't keep going like this. What am I going to do? So I thought, I'll just roll to the side, and then maybe I'll get off it. So I rolled to the side, and then it swept me down. I swept down the side of the whale. So my whole body's against it, and my hands are on like this, all the way down to its tail. I've got to be worried when I got to the tail, because I've seen those videos, where they can splash with their tail. Couldn't do any of that, yeah. So just down to its tail, and then off I went, and then it just kept swimming, and off it went. And my heart's beating like anything at this stage. And I thought, well, that's enough for me for one day. And Ian's in the boat, and Peter was back at this stage, and then.
Pete had it. I mean, Pete had it before Craig.
Yeah.
So it popped up. First time it popped up about 100 meters from the boat, and I just thought, well, that's nice. It's like a nice day, and great to see a whale tail come out of the water. And Pete was on the end of he had his reel attached to a float and a dive flap. Standard scallop drift. and I suppose I was 7 or 8 meters from the flag, and I just heard, and the whale came between the boat and the dive flag. And if you look at the videos I've posted from the surface on the Facebook page, you can see Pete's bubbles coming up.
Yeah.
And in one of the videos, I think, what, by the time it had gone through a couple of times by the time I thought to get the camera out, it just kept coming back and back and back. And I'm screaming, they must have seen it.
Yeah.
They must have seen it. They must have seen it. And it came through, and I got the tail coming up and down, and then it come through again. And Pete's on, but Pete said he had the similar experience. His fin caught on the line and dragged Pete along,
and
then it untangled. And I saw that the fin comes right up out of the water, and then it turned and it came back between Pete, the dive flag, and the boat, and it came out of the water head, and I literally could have stepped off Pete's boat and stood on its head. It came right away along the side of the boat and then just turned and went across the bow in 11 meters of water.
And the thing I remember, sorry.
Well, I mean, we didn't have a momentary whale encounter. It was like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
It just hung.
It was longer than that, yeah. And it was just curious, I didn't get any anger from it or anything. It was just totally curious about what we were doing, what I was doing. But the thing I remember is when I had my hand on its forehead.
What did you feel like that?
Well, the thing I was remembering was that when I put my hand on it, it was just covered in all, the lichen and all the growth and barnacles on it, because it was a bit rough on its forehead. But when I went down the side, there wasn't much growth on it at all, really. It was pretty smooth on its side. But yeah, its head was just, from where I was up the top, it was just all green with growth on it. So yeah, that's our whale of a story.
It's officially the best checkout dive I've ever had.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable. And then the other thing is, I mean, I'm whooping a little bit, and I'm expecting the divers to hit the surface and be fairly excited, and you know Pete's like ice cool. Just Pete's the surface. Like, so we see the whale, and it's like, yeah, whale. But I think he will admit he was a little bit excited. It's like it was typical Beaumont. It's like just emotion. It's like, yeah, whale.
Just got a typical
dive in the boat. Yeah.
Well, I was probably 100 metres from the boat, I guess. And I'm looking around, make sure the whale isn't around me. So I'm blowing the whistle and all that, and you guys were waving to me, and they come over pretty quickly, thank God. So so it was a good day. Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah.
So that's the message we need to get out, that our checkout dives involve whales. You can do a checkout dive, then you pay.
That's
Pay.
No, I got.
Induction to Wales.
Do you know what? I think David Flew nailed my emotion, because he put a post on the Facebook thing, and he said, "Ian, I bet you're glad you weren't in the water." And he's probably right, because I had a 105mm super macro lens on. It's like if I'd have been under there with a camera, I couldn't even shoot my eye. It's like it would have been like the ultimate frustration.
You need to strap a GoPro to your camera.
Yeah,
Just a little GoPro.
Yeah. I bought one about 12 months ago, Angus. So I used it once.
Did you log your fish count?
Wow.
One single solitary fish.
And I mean, the more learned people were saying it, because it was a southern right whale, not a humpback whale. Apparently they're rarer, so even more special. Huh?
Yeah.
And there was a lot going on around. It sounded like there was a bait ball in the water.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of activity. Yeah, heaps of dolphins and seals. Yeah, they were just floating on the top of the water, doing their thing, and all the birds were just darts going into the water.
What's the jet calmed over, is it?
Yeah, I was really loving it.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Where was that?
I beg your pardon?
Where was that?
It was near the hurricane.
Capital site.
Off Roseboat. Roseboat Ride, that way.
Last week.
Last week, like Monday last week, yeah. Yeah.
We, on our honeymoon,
Oh, here we go.
sorry, one of Donna's,
The honeymoon, yeah.
Donna's bucket list thing was to see whales. So we did a whale trip out of Harvey Bay. And so we saw lots of whales, which is fantastic. Nothing like what you were saying, but one of the things the tour guide said was they are so inquisitive. So if they're up near the boat and they come out, just wave or do something because they're interested, they're curious, which is obviously played out by your experience.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. That's exactly like that,
Motion
yeah.
and things will
Yeah.
attract them, so.
Yeah, and all the bubbles too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you won't believe, if you look at the video, you just won't believe how close it swam to the bubbles coming up from Peter. That's just like, that's
You
mine.
have the video here.
It's on the Facebook